That's again. Right, there we go. Recording. Jazmin, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What about you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. So we have
this is
we
this is
we
a very English answer. All of you said no bad, no bad.
yeah,
It's
not
very English, right?
it is very English. And
Yeah,
this is the second time we're attempting this call because we did start it a minute ago, but for some reason it cut. We lost the signal.
yeah,
Yeah, so we lost the signal. So we were talking about the weather, if you remember.
yeah. I was saying that here in Mexico we are almost melting. The weather is being really is really hot, and by this time it's supposed that the weather is it have to be rainy, but we don't know. Maybe it's the climate change.
Yeah, maybe. Like I said to you just then, the weather here has been. It was really nice in April, May, but then
Mhm.
during June it's not been too good. But when you came to Manchester, the weather was unbelievable, wasn't it? It was sunny
Yeah,
nearly
yeah.
every day.
Almost until I think until June was really sunny, and almost all people by this time they said, "Oh, the weather is incredible this year." For me, it was something like, "Oh, this is the weather like this is a similar weather like in Mexico," but I'm sure that for you is something different.
Yeah, I think what happened was I think you brought the weather from Mexico with you.
Maybe.
I think that's what happened. Do you remember? Do you remember the day when we went to? I took you to St Anne's, didn't I, near Blackpool on the beach?
Yeah.
If you remember, do you remember how hot it was that day? It was really
Yeah, yeah.
hot.
Yeah, and this place was really was beautiful, but it was strange because at some point at the middle of the beach, you
Beach.
can hear nothing. It's strange. It's very
Yeah, that was
strange,
right.
but
Yeah, because the what happens is the tide it goes out, but when the tide goes out, it goes out for miles. It goes out for miles and miles. So we walked. I think we walked around probably a mile and a half, 2 miles toward the water, and then because there's no traffic and no noise, it's just silence, absolute silence.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
understand
it's
now what they
strange.
mean when they say silence is deafening.
Yeah,
Definitely. But yeah, it was a good place. So, thanks for coming on the channel and telling us a little bit about your experiences. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about how it came about you coming to Manchester and how you booked it and where you stayed and some of your experiences.
yeah, of course. And first of all, thank you for the invitation.
Welcome.
It's a great opportunity to talk about my experience learning a new language as an adult, which is quite complicated.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah, of course.
It's not easy at
And
all. So how
yeah,
when you came, you because obviously I'd spoken to you on Hello Talk, and then all of a sudden one day I get a message saying, "Hello, I'm in Manchester." So I was like,
yeah,
"Wow, how did
yeah.
that
This
happen?"
this was a very radical decision for me. I would like to start um, with I would like to start in this point when I was working for a Mexican company, but I had a lot of communication with American people. It's supposed that for this position
Okay.
I needed a better level in English. They asked me during the job interview. They told me, "Oh, how is your level in English?" And I said, "Oh, oh, I think it's good." But they didn't check it. So they said, "Okay, check." And after this, I think I was no. I was really lucky by this time because I had two bosses, one in the Mexican company, another one for in the thing is that the Mexican company, they had the license to have an American brand
Okay.
to distribute the product in Mexico. So this can I say the name of the brand?
Yeah, I think so. I can't see why
Yeah,
not. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, it was Tommy Hilfiger.
Okay.
So I was really lucky for by this time because my boss in Tommy Hilfiger was a a man from Chile,
Okay.
and his English was perfect, but also he speaks Spanish as well because he is from Chile. So we used to have our communication in Spanish because he understood that my level is was not in the correct level, but he said, "Okay, no worries. I'm happy with your work here, so no problem." But he told me you need to improve your level in English because our our boss was a lady from the United States, and
Okay.
uh, she didn't speak any other language, just English. So
Okay.
it was,
That's quite common. That's quite common.
yeah,
English speakers, because the whole world speaks English. Not many of us speak other languages. That was one of the main reasons why I wanted to learn Spanish. But anyway, please continue.
yeah. So during this time, it was a very hard time for me because, as I told you, the position required a better level in English because almost all my communication was. Uh, I think the middle of my communication was in Spanish and the other part in English, and my level was not in the level in the correct level by this time. One day I remember that at the beginning when I just started in this position, the my boss in Mexico said, "Oh, we have a call with New York. Oh, I think it will be in 1 hour." And I said, "Oh my god!" And I went to the toilet and I said, "Oh my god!" I was really nervous because my I knew that my English was not good as they expected.
Okay.
So after this, um, I moved to other company, a company from Argentina. So, but in this position, it wasn't necessary to speak another language, just Spanish, because there are a lot of countries and people speaking Spanish. So most of the times, you don't need to learn another language. But after some time in this position, my dream was to return to work with an international brand, an international
Okay.
company, and I knew that for this kind of position, the first requirement was another language, and this language is English. So when we met, as you said, I tried. I try in many ways to improve my level in English. I had I had private lessons with
Okay.
a teacher here near to my house. I think at the beginning I had a very good improvement, but after maybe 8 months or something like this, I felt that I didn't have some improvement. After this, I moved to the British Council here in Mexico City. They had a school here, and the good thing is that the teachers, all of them, they are native speakers. They all of them are from England, which is a very good thing because I didn't have some problem to understand someone. Uh, native speaker and a Spanish native speaker speaking in English was not a problem for me. The problem for me, it was to understand someone that English was the first language.
Understanding native speakers.
Yeah, of course. So I tried with the British Council. I think it was a very good experience for me. I had the opportunity to improve a little bit more my level. But after some time, I realized that my level was not improving anymore. After this, as I told you, was the time when I was working for the company from Argentina. So I didn't have this practice as I had in the other company with Tommy Hilfiger. So after some time, I was thinking to move to the next step in my career, and I said, okay, I want to have this position, but for this position, I need to have a very, very good level in English. And I realized that my level was not the level that I wanted. When I had an interview for my dream job, it was like my dream job. I had this interview. They told me, "Oh my God, your profile. We love your profile. It's exactly the thing that we are looking for, but I think we need someone with a better level in English." So I said, "No, this is my dream job, but just for my level in English is." Oh, sorry, my dogs.
It's okay.
Yeah. So they said, we love your profile, but with your level in English is not possible, because it's supposed that the boss of this position, this person, doesn't speak any Spanish, nothing, just English. So after some time, I decided to move to this company, the company from Argentina. I think it was the correct time to do it. Actually, they changed something. They changed their decisions. They decided that my profile was not the thing that they needed.
Okay.
So actually, they said, okay, we decide that you are not working for more time. They fired me.
You. Yeah, so they
Yeah,
fired you.
exactly.
So they would say in English, they would say something like, "I'm sorry, but we have to let you go," or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Let you go. Yeah, this is the exactly phrase. So they fired me, but they gave me some money because they decided to do it, not me. So 2 months before this, I found an option, and this option was I mean another option to learn English or to improve my level in English, and this option was to go to another country to learn the language that you want, but for a long time, because in my opinion, this is one of the best ways to improve your English, when you are immersed in the language, when you are thinking in other language almost all the time. Actually, you start to think in other language, which is great, or you start to dream in other language, which is better.
Totally agree.
Yeah, so when they told me, "Oh, we decide to let you go," okay, I said, I felt sad because of the decision, because I was thinking that maybe this will happen in 6 months, at least 6 months. But they decide to do it at this time. So I said, okay, okay, I have now. I'm feeling sad, but now I have two paths, or yeah, two paths in my career. I I can look for another similar job here in Mexico, something similar to the job that I had
To
before,
your, to your
or
previous job. Say
previous
previous.
job. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Or the other option was to to go to another country, and I decided to do it. One of my dreams since a couple of years before this was to go to England. England was a country that I always wanted to visit or
Okay.
live in this country. At the beginning, I wanted to go to London, but as you know, London is very expensive.
Yes, very
So
expensive.
yeah, so after some recommendations of the school or where the company that I hired to go to England,
Okay.
they told me, "Oh, you know what? There is another school, and this school is in Manchester, and in this place is the cost of living is a little bit lower than in London." So they said, "Oh, this could be a very good option if your purpose is to live in this country for more time." So, so I said, "Okay, let's do it." Uh,
Let's go to
because
Manchester.
yeah, because when I went to this office, the office of this company, they told me the cost of this trip, including the school and everything, your food, the accommodation, and everything. And it was quite expensive, and I didn't have this money. But after the company fired me, I said, "Oh my God, this is the money that I wanted to go to England." So I said, "Let's go." And after the day before this, I went to the office of this company and I said, "When is the when is the date?" I can. Sorry, I'm a little bit nervous.
No, it's
Uh,
okay.
when is the date when you can send me to England,
Okay.
but as soon as possible? So they said, "Okay, we can do it in 1 month." And they said, "You need to prepare everything. We need to have some things to do it. So we have enough time to do it." And I did it.
That's
It was,
awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome.
it was great. I went to Manchester, to the to this city. Is I think is the second in size in the UK. Well, in
Um,
England.
I think Birmingham. So you've got London is the
Oh
capital.
yes.
Then you've got Birmingham is the second city, but Manchester is a really big city.
Yeah.
Really big, as you know, as you know.
Yeah.
And then that's when you text me
So
and said, Gino, I'm in Manchester. I'm like, whoa.
yeah, it was crazy, and I think it was a very good decision. It was the only way, in my opinion, it was the only way to improve my level of English in the level that I wanted, um,
Definitely,
and
yeah.
the level, yeah, and the level that I needed for this kind of jobs that I want, that I was looking for. So after this, I moved to Manchester. In total, I live in Manchester for 6 months. At the beginning, when I did my examination, I was in levels. I was in B1,
Okay.
and after when I finished my course after 6 months, I was in C1.
Advanced.
Yeah, advanced. And
Yeah.
now I'm a little bit nervous, but I think I haven't improved a little bit more. So maybe now
Yeah.
I am between C1 and C2.
I mean, I saw your level just go like that. As soon as you arrived in the UK, I saw your level just skyrocket. Really amazing, absolutely
Yeah.
amazing, absolutely
Yeah, and
amazing.
I think, of course, it was a very good opportunity to improve my level in English, but also it was a very good opportunity to change my life. It was a great experience to go. I think in general to go to other country, to new another culture, another people, another another things,
Hmm.
and also outside of your comfort zone is great. It was a great experience for me. um
Yeah, definitely.
I
You're 100% right. In order to grow, you have to be outside of your comfort zone. So I'm hoping that I can have the opportunity to spend a few months in Spain, I think, but we'll see. We'll see. Um, so yeah, brilliant. So how did you find the accent in Manchester? Was it easy to understand or?
um at the beginning it was a little bit hard to understand. I was struggling understanding people on the streets, for example, because in the school, teachers most of the time they are trying to be clear when they are talking to you, but when you are outside, people in general is talking like in the normal way, and they had a strong accent. Oh, it was a little bit difficult, obviously for me. I don't know why, but in London the accent was a little bit easier for me.
Okay, okay.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I
why.
think
I feel that it's more clear, more formal. I don't know.
I think you're probably right, but I think what the main reason for that is that the London accent, the Cockney accent, you've probably had a lot more exposure to that because whenever you
Yeah,
hear somebody from England, it's on the telly in movies. Generally, it's a Cockney. It's somebody from London or down south. So when you come up north, you come to Manchester, and the accent is different, different tones. It just takes a while to accustom to it. I have a question for you though, and I think personally
of
that
course.
the people here in the north of England uh, are more likely to talk to strangers, to talk to you on the street. The warmer, in other words. I'm not saying that the people down south are not friendly, but it's just a difference in culture. I think people in the street in London are less likely to talk to you than in the north. Did you find that as well?
Yeah, yeah, I think it's true. Maybe it's because London is a big city, like here
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Mexico City. If you are walking on the street and you say hello to someone, this person will look at you something like this. What's wrong with you? We don't do this with people that we don't know. But yeah, you are right. In Manchester in general, my experience was that people is really friendly. They were All people were really friendly with me in
Yeah.
general. For example, uh, I was waiting for the bus in the bus station, and people just start to talk with me.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
it was great. And I think it was great for my English to have the opportunity to talk with people with different accents. It was great. And also I had the opportunity to talk with people from China, from India, from many from South Africa, or this kind
Wow.
of countries, which was great because you have to feel comfortable talking in English with people with different accents. It's just the accent, but it's English.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
The language is the same. It's just different takes on it. It's like, for example, with Spanish, I never change the Spanish I speak. I just speak the same Spanish to everybody, but they understand me. The main thing is that the people you're talking to, they understand what you're saying. That's it. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
That's all
Yeah,
that matters.
and this was the thing that I think was great in Manchester. But the problem after this was that when I returned to my country, I started looking for a new job, and I found a new job, but with an American company. All of them are from New York,
Okay.
and accent is quite different. But I had a lot of problems to understand them at the beginning, because by this time I was I was or I don't know how to say this, but I had more experience with British English than with American English. So for me at the beginning was crazy. I had a lot of difficulties to understand them. Accent was different, and also, for example, my boss, he used no, he speaks in a different way.
Okay.
He uses I don't know how to say this, but they use just the first letter of each word, and they have uh, uh, a small word.
Acronym. It's an acronym. It's an
Exactly.
acronym.
And at the beginning, I was something like, "What is the meaning of this?"
Yeah. I think that's something in general though. Even when I started a new job, in the job that I've just started, obviously it's an English speaking country, it's in England, but the acronyms within the industry, do you know, like say you've got something like, say this is oat milk I've got on the table here, but you know, this is Oatly oat milk, and they might call it double OM or something like that. And if you don't know, you're like, what does that mean? I've never heard of it.
Exactly. Yeah,
Never
at
heard
the
of it.
beginning was really difficult, and I think one of the moments that for me was really good, or when I felt really happy, was when I had a meeting with people in my company, but in New York, with all of them.
Okay.
And it was a meeting with almost 12 people, all of them from the United States, all of them native speakers, all of them speaking in English.
Do you know
And
that?
only me in
that when
talking with them.
when you've got more than one native speaker and it's a group conversation, whew, wow.
It's very difficult when
Yeah.
you have a group of people talking between them. It's hard to understand, because they start to talk with other people with a different speed, with other words.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's crazy, and for me it was very, very rewarding to understand everything, to give my opinion in other language. It was great for me.
Jazmin, good, congratulations, and thank you for sharing your inspiring story on the channel. I'm sure it will inspire some of my subscribers to take the level up that next level. Thank you very much. So, do you want to say goodbye to the subscribers, and I'll stop recording.
Yeah, goodbye and good luck.
Okay.